fibrin. So, the clots or the blood on the surface of the injury becomes hard and it sticks on the surface of the injured side. And when that happens, bleeding stops. Did we get that? Yes, sir. Are you confused? Okay, where are you lost? From Prothrombin activator. Good. Factor 10. Factor 10 stimulates prothrombin activator. And the function of this prothrombin activator is to convert prothrombin to thrombin. Prothrombin is an inactive structure. The active form is thrombin. So prothrombin activator converts prothrombin to thrombin. Thrombin will now convert the inactive fibrinogen to active fibrinogen. Active fibrinogen will now form loose strands of fibrin on the surface of the injured site. This loose strand of fibrin becomes hardened and sticky on the injured site to form a tight or a hard fibrin strand. And then blood stops coming out from the wound. This is simple physiology because all of you at one time in your life had an injury, maybe a minor or a major injury. If, for example, you have a wound, maybe on your arm, and blood starts coming out. After some time, you discover that blood thickens on the surface of that wound, and it forms that hardened stuff. Is what is known as the tight fibrin strand. Before that thing occurs, all these reactions has taken place in your body. Alright? And the reason for this is to stop bleeding and to stop you from losing blood excessively. It's simple physiology. Okay, how do you think your wound heals? How? Is it the oracle in your village controlling that? No. It is through this mechanism that brings about wound healing. Alright? So, that is for the intrinsic pathway. Intrinsic pathway. So the other pathway is known as the extrinsic pathway. Is the same mechanism. Alright? But the only difference is that the intrinsic pathway occurs inside your body. but the extrinsic occurs outside the injured side. Alright? But two of them work together in pari-passu to bring about stoppage of bleeding. So the extrinsic pathway, alright, tissue trauma reacts with tissue thromboplastin, leading to the secretion of what? Glycoproteins and phospholipids. Alright? Now, before we get to factor 10, there are other factors that are activated. Alright? So factor 3 is converted from its inactive form to active state. Alright? So factor 3, inactive factor 3 gets converted to active factor 3, although it's not on the slide. Alright? And then the active factor 3 will stimulate the conversion of inactive factor 7 to active factor 7. And the active factor 7 is that factor that will now convert inactive factor 10 to active factor 10. The active factor 10 comes down here and stimulates prothrombin activator. And then prothrombin activator converts prothrombin to what? Thrombin. Thrombin converts inactive fibrinogen to active fibrinogen. The active fibrinogen forms loose strand of fibrin, and then the loose strand of fibrin is converted to fibrin tight blood clot. Very simple, isn't it? Yes. Where is she going to? You know, I learned this thing in my primary school. So, but I don't know the reason why you're finding it so difficult. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? Oh, really? Okay. It's not difficult. It is not. Honestly, it's not difficult. Okay, let me just demonstrate something for you. Just a minute. Okay. The idea is let's just say we have letter Y. Alright? Now, this arm represents the intrinsic pathway. So let's call that I what? P. The intrinsic pathway. And this other arm represents what? The extrinsic pathway. So we'll call that EP. Alright? So what we have here is 12, 11, 9, right? And then we have 8, and then here is usually the end point. And then here we have what? 10. Right? Right? So it's simple. For the intrinsic pathway, factor 12 activates factor 11. Factor 11 activates factor 9. Factor 9 will activate factor 10. But that reaction is catalyzed by factor 8. Alright? I take it again. Factor 12 activates factor 11. Factor 11 activates factor 9. Factor 9 activates factor 10, mediated by factor 8. What now happens? Factor 8 will now stimulate, what is this? Prothrombin activator. We'll call that PA. Right? And then what happens? We have here 5 times 2 times 1. Simple. So from here, 5 times 2 is what? 10 times 1 is what? 1 times 2 is what? 2 times 5. So 10. Remember, this is the end point. So what happens? Prothrombin activator gets here. It converts prothrombin to thrombin. Thrombin does what? Converts fibrinogen, inactive fibrinogen to active fibrinogen. And then the active fibrinogen forms new strand of fibrin, and then that gets to tight fibrin strand. Simple. Over here, for the extrinsic pathway, the only thing you have is, look, factor 3 plus, we use plus factor 7. So 3 plus 7, 10. So it will still land here, 10. This is 10. Right? Because 7 will now convert inactive factor 10 to active factor 10. And the whole thing goes down. As soon as factor 10 is activated, it activates the prothrombin activator. Prothrombin activator will now convert prothrombin to thrombin. Thrombin converts inactive fibrinogen to fibrinogen to the active form, and then fibrinogen forms new strand to tight fibrinogen strand. Is it still Difficult? No. Okay. So, that is that. It's not something that is difficult. Alright? Good. So, going forward, we have anticoagulants. Anticoagulants are substances that inhibit the blood from coagulating. There are natural anticoagulants and there are also synthetic form, or the produced or man-made form of the anticoagulants. If you notice, blood is always in a liquid state in the body. The blood doesn't coagulate in the body. And that is because the body has natural anticoagulants that prevents the blood from clumping or coagulating or becoming hard. Because if the blood is hard in the body, it means that it will not be able to flow from one place to the other. So, one natural anticoagulant that is found in the human body is the heparin, right? Heparin is a natural anticoagulant in the body that helps to prevent blood from coagulating, and it helps to keep the blood in its liquid state inside the body. There are also synthetic forms of anticoagulants, like I mentioned. So you go on, read that all. Now, bleeding disorders. Bleeding disorders. They are conditions characterized by prolonged bleeding time or clotting time. Alright? Some people, when they have injury, it takes a longer time for bleeding to stop. Now the question will be, what is the normal bleeding time and what is the normal clotting time? I want to think that you have done that in practical classes. Have you done that? You haven't done that. Okay, in the practical class, you are going to do a practical with respect to bleeding and clotting time. So someone will pick up a pin, someone in the group, right? And somebody in that group will donate his or her hand, and the person will use the pin to prick the person's skin, so that blood will be gushing out, and there will be stop blood. It begin to, time when the blood clots will form. Alright? So that is bleeding time and clotting time. If that person isn't normal or has problem with the clotting factors, then the bleeding and clotting time will be prolonged. Alright? Good. But that is for practical sections. There are 3 main types of bleeding disorders. Right? The first one is hemophilia, and then we have purpura, and then we have the von Willebrand disease. What is hemophilia? Yes, what is hemophilia? Hemophilia. What is hemophilia? I will begin to call names. Midsummer. Midsummer in this class. What is hemophilia? Where it's from? Not yet. Okay. Alert. Where is alert? Credit alert. Or debit alert. Where are you? What is hemophilia? Huh? No idea. Okay. Clap for yourself. Yes. Is what? That is a hereditary disease. The blood does not clot in time, so there's prolonged bleeding time. Very good. Very good. So a person that has hemophilia will have prolonged bleeding time because the blood doesn't clot in time when there is an injury, and that could lead to excessive loss of blood through bleeding from wounds. Diabetes can also affect some of these clotting factors, leading to hemophilia, because sometimes when a diabetic patient has an injury, it takes a longer time for that injury to heal. Alright? Due to there is sugar in the blood in the first place. There's sugar in the blood, which can lead to bacteria accumulating around that injured site. The diabetes can also affect the clotting factors leading to that prolonged bleeding time. What is purpura? Purpura? What is von Willebrand factor or disease? What is von Willebrand disease? A person with von Willebrand disease lacks the von Willebrand factor. And when that happens, what do you think will happen to the patient? Yes. What is purpura? Okay. I know you are all intelligent, you know the answer but you don't want to say anything. Maybe you will tell me in the exam. I know you want to write it in the exam, so some of you are so shy to answer questions in class, but in the exam, wow. You answer. So, you go and look up, read up those bleeding disorders, and form a note on them. Alright, so the next topic is blood groups. Blood groups. Are we tired? Are we tired? Are you hungry? Okay, should we take a break? 10 minutes? No, yes, no. Are we tired? Yes. Where is she going to? Come back. Go and sit down. I don't want to hear. You want to peace? You want to do what? Think. Go and sit down. Then think that you're class. Go and sit down. So, blood group. Blood group. College students don't get tired. You don't get tired. If you're always getting tired and you're in college of medicine, you shouldn't be here. Change course to study Igbo language or any linguistic courses. Just change to and go to a bar you should be. Because over there, their lectures is just 10 minutes. Once you dismiss and the students will go and sleep. But if you're in college, you shouldn't be talking of fatigue or tiredness. No, it's not done. So blood group. This happens to be our last lecture for this section. No? I mean this semester. Right, so I think we have to, you know, do blood groups today so that you can rest. Are you not tired of coming here every day? Good. And that is why I want to finish everything so that I'm tired of even seeing your face. No, I'm tired of seeing your faces. So I want to finish everything with you today so that you won't disturb me to come for lectures again. The only time I want to see these faces should be in the exam hall. So there is time for learning. And I also believe there is time for studying for the exams. The exams are fast approaching. So we really need to finish up so that you have time to read what we have been teaching you here in class for the exams. Alright, blood group. I used to say that after genotype, the other thing you must know is the blood group. It is compulsory that you know your blood group as well as your rhesus factor. You know, blood groups have really caused a lot of problems for families, married couples, and people who refuse to really know their blood group. Your blood group can cause some reproductive anomalies, leading to the inability to produce children in the future. You know, if you are very observant, you will notice that some families have only one child, and they have been trying to produce or create other children, but these children are not forthcoming. Because anytime the woman takes in, there is spontaneous miscarriage or there is a spontaneous abortion. And the couples are trying, going for church programs, doing 40 days, fasting and prayers, and the problem still persists. And then they end up blaming everybody. They end up blaming their village people, their in-laws, and everyone around them, including the animals. Because when couples who fail to know their blood group begin to have this problem in the future, and when the woman takes in, before you know it, miscarriage, and she sees a cat that is just passing, an innocent cat. She will now raise her arm. Oh! Honey, it is your mother that turned to cat that came to eat my baby. And all sorts of rubbish. Meanwhile, it could just be their blood groups which they have failed to know before the marriage. Alright? Who is that? Hey, bro. Go and sit there. Go and sit there. Why did you get that class? Which class are you? Medicine. Hey, go and sit. And then go sit there. Sit in front, let me see your face. Fine boy. Are you not happy? Alright. So, okay. I'm talking about couples. Couples. And you're not saying, I'm a student. What is my business? Before I get married, I must know my God about. Students can also be impacted in this problem. And as a student, yours is even worse. If you don't know your blood group, yours is even worse. Because while couples may have one child, you may end up not having any child at all in the future if you don't know your blood group. And then you begin to run from church to church, spiritual homes, visiting native doctors, and blaming everybody. But how can it affect you as a student? Now, it's no news that students are all in a relationship. Valentine is just by the corner. And you are all planning, wow. Many of you are planning not to even come to school that day. Meet with your boyfriends, meet with your girlfriend. Yes, is it not fact that students sneak out from classes, they meet in the forest, and they do it on the trees, like the monkeys? Yes, that's okay. But why doing all of these? You might get pregnant, and you know you are not ready for marriage. And the next thing that comes to the mind of your boyfriend and the girl that has carried belly is abortion. And people who do abortions are quack doctors. Because to the best of my knowledge, abortion is illegal. It is not constitutional in Nigeria. So sometimes when students get themselves pregnant, they run to the quacks. And because these quacks don't have adequate knowledge of these things, without running the proper test or carrying out the proper examination on you before doing that abortion for you, you run into danger. Yes, the baby might be gone, and you come back looking normal and happy, as if nothing happened, and you are back in class, catwalking, but in the future, you might not have even one child. Because the one you are supposed to have The only one you're supposed to have, you have to move it. That is why you must take this thing seriously. You have to take this thing seriously. Because some of the problems you run to meet Papa and Mama to pray for you are just simply as a result of your carelessness and ignorance. But that is why we are here to teach you. So blood group. Oh, blood group. All this one sleeping is like, I don't understand. Tap that person. Wake up. Sit down. This lecture is specifically for you. You. This lecture is for you. Or it's like what I'm saying. Have you done an abortion? Like an LTE. So I will not have challenge. Have you done it? No. It better be no. Alright. So, are you really tired? I said this class is going to end at 6:50. No. Excuse. If you are hungry, you simply tell me you are hungry so that I think I should be the one complaining here, not you. Alright? Because I started teaching since 6 a.m. today, and I'm not tired. What have you even done today? Just to sit down, you're not even talking, listening to lectures.